Co-op and trick-taking?
That's something new.
Let's review it.
This is the review for the game The Crew, the good and bad about the game.
Hopefully, by the end of the video, you will know if this is for you.
Yes, and we have 6 burning questions that we will answer in this video, but before we do that, we have to do a quick overview of this game. So Yanis, what is this game all about?
You're an astronaut in space, and you're trying to complete missions. A co-op and a trick-taking game. Trick-taking game is basically a classical type of game where you will play a card, and then the player who played the highest card will take that trick, so he beats everybody else. Also, not just the number matters, but the suit of the card matters.
Your turn looks like this. You have a bunch of cards and you play one of them, and then all other players have to play the same color, and whoever plays the biggest card takes that trick. Yeah. There's 50 different scenarios, so each scenario has different goal that you need to achieve.
If this would be an old game cartridge, it would be 50 in 1. Each mission has a certain extra rule that is added on, like an extra challenge. Plus, certain people have to take certain tricks.
So we can get to the questions, and the first question is...
Who would you buy it for?
Who would you buy it for? 3, 2, 1... I have achievement junkies. Because this game has 50 scenarios, and each time you finish a scenario, you get a rush of yes! And then, let's go again. If you have friends who you think would enjoy feeling of achievement, of finishing this task, of doing it correctly, then this is really for you.
What I'm trying to say here is classic card game players. If they get behind the box, because the box looks all science fiction-y and everything, behind it is a really neat classical card game in a way. The basic premise of playing a suit and trying to take tricks is very common and known in classical players. I feel that this is something I could actually play with my wife's parents. What's the alternative?
3, 2, 1...
I got a game.
Oh wow, wow. Teach you.
Yeah, I'll teach you it someday.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I got this dad joke in here. Teach you is not really a trick-taking game. It's a climbing game. So how that works is, let's say I play a pair, 2 twos. Then to beat that trick, somebody else has to play a higher pair. I could have played full house, 3 threes and 2 fives. And then somebody has to play a higher full house. And that's how you get tricks here. And you play 2 versus 2. And you can't speak between your teammates. So this has the same feel that this one gives me. Trying to send this message to your teammate. Play 5. Play 5. Feels like that. If Crew was team versus team, I'd say Tichu is like that.
Mine is the mind. It even has the same number of letters. I find it that they are really similar in that sense that they are both cooperative. In both of these games you play cards in the correct order, so they have a lot of similarities. They are very different though. This is very a logical puzzle, and this is about feeling, about getting in the same rhythm with your team. This will have a lot more emotions involved in it, and this will be a lot more calculation involved in it. So if you have played the mind, and you want something that's more mathematical or, more logical, you would play the Crew, and the other way around. If you have played the Crew and you like it, but you want something that's more easygoing, then the mind would be for you.
Best number of players.
3, 2, 1, boom.
Definitely not good at 2. It has specific rules, and you have this dummy player in between. It's there if you really want it, but it's not gonna be the good Crew to play. But other than that, I've played with 3, 4, 5, and it felt pretty good with all of those numbers.
I would say it's meant for 4 players. 5 is a bit of a problem because in later scenarios, which get tougher, they are kind of impossible with 5 players, so they have additional rules for 5 players.
Challenge accepted.
So they give you extra rules, which is okay, but it feels a bit forced. 3 players is fine, but 4, you get everything from this game when you play with 4 people. I would buy it if I would know that I will have 3 or 4 people to play it with. Here in Board Game Hangover, we're also making a crew.
And you can be a part of it.
Just subscribe, like, share, do all the good stuff and help us out to become bigger, better at this thing we're doing.
What's the worst thing about the Crew? Whoppa.
Boom. I have pressure.
Pressure.
In first few scenarios, it's okay to play out the wrong card. It's not gonna punish you that much. There's still a lot of cards to play and you can get the right order anyways. But at later scenarios, it's very punishing if you don't play the right cards at the right time. The biggest problem is that you will always know who messed up. You should have played that card at that time, and because you didn't, you kind of all lost.
That's actually the reason I've seen this game being hated after the first play. People feel this pressure, and then if somebody's not very nice at the table, they go like, why did you do it? You should have played the 4. Yeah, I'm not playing this ever again.
I think it's very important what's your mindset when you get into this game, as well as what's your group's mindset. I would never play this game with somebody who's like that, who's like, all right, you messed up, that's, unforgivable. You should go in this game as a mindset, all right, I probably will mess up, I will learn, and next time I'll be better.
You might be the next one to mess up.
For sure. Plus, it also is a learning process. For the first scenarios, you won't know what's the correct way to play it, and that's all right. Don't be harsh on yourself. Enjoy the game.
This is why why isn't bad with 2 or not as good, because me and my wife are huge trick-taking game fans. Well, it's playable, but it's not the crew game you want to play with 2. So that's why maybe this summer when we're staying at the countryside with her parents. Here's hoping.
You have to get the right company. That could be for sure the worst thing about this game, that you need the right people in the right amount.
Next question is,
when would you play it? Wow. Wow.
Here's my essay on the subject, when would I play it?
Like I said, this summer with my 5 parents.
Yeah. Just to, take something out when you have 3 dedicated players, at least.
Alright, mine is before chess. This game really has you thinking a few steps ahead all the time. It's very important what other players have in their hands. So, for example, if I want to play like the blue card, it will matter that the other players have to have the blue card, or else we'll lose.
You can't really control, right? You're hoping that he'll get it. First of all, you're hoping he has that card. Then you're hoping he'll get it, that he needs to play that card.
You have to risk it to get the biscuit. But in the same time, you can calculate it. The more you think about it, the easier it will be for you to know, all right, if that person played that card, that means he probably doesn't have that card. And if he doesn't have that card, that means he must have that card. And if he has that card, all right, I should play this card. But no, wait, what if the 4th player has this card? No, I should do that. And you see where the thinking process comes in. And this is a really, really good, I think, training for that. It's not that demanding as chess is, because in chess you have to think all the time. You get to train this skill that's actually really useful. And at the same time, it's fun. Those were 5 questions and 1 more left. And the last one is the most important one.
Where would we place it in our tier?
3, 2, 1, boom.
Okay.
Could you stop with the asterisks all the time?
If I could, I would. I need to go to some kind of self-group. Hello, my name is Yanis, and I use asterisks in my ratings all the time. It's definitely fantastic. But the asterisk is there if you're not a trick-taking card game fan. Person.
Thing.
Yes.
Whatever.
Being. It's going to be a really good game for you. If you are a trick-taking game fan, it's a must-have. For example, for me, it's a must-have. The average being fantastic.
We already talked about the 2 worst things, which is you have to have specific number of players, and the other one is that it has a lot of pressure. So I couldn't give it must-have because it won't be a must-have for everybody.
Definitely, yeah.
But it's really fantastic. That's why I finished it, 50 scenarios in, and I still really, really like it.
Co-op trick-taking game is something totally unique. So I like how they put a new twist on already well-known thing. And I think that's original, yet very simple. But since they included 50 different missions in there, which are quite different from one another, I feel this is a lot of game in one small box.
To add to that, I really liked the feeling of progression and the feeling of getting better as a team on it. It feels good when you can get better at something, and you can get better at this game pretty easily. That feels awesome, and I really, really like this sense of accomplishment. Alright, that was our review for The Crew. If you enjoy the way we review our games, then consider subscribing.
And liking.
And sharing around. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.